Your presence here makes a difference. We were just, before coming to this event, we were in a farmers forum for those who grow ginger. And the fact is, you go anywhere, this pandemic, you see that any industry that was thriving was in fact the agriculture industry or the agricultural sector. Because no matter what happens, whatever happens, we continue eating. And we need to feed in order for us to have that energy and in order to us to make those decisions. So again, we are in the right business. It's only a matter of changing our mindset, and this is where trainings, field days, idea sharing comes in. This is where career paths can be developed. Again, it's being proud to stand in front of my former boss, Mr. Raya. I see Mrs. Uraya there. I see my deputy secretary who used to be there. It's proud to sit in and stand in this crowd to say we are proud to be part of the Ministry of Agriculture, being part of the agricultural faculty. Guys, this morning you students, I want to share with you another fundamental thing. The reason we don't have replacement farmers is on the essence how we treat agriculture. There's a lot of us think that agriculture is the last option. So you must have grown, a lot of these ladies that have grown, we also grew up with kind of a town thing. We said, okay, if you don't get anything, okay, agriculture is there. And this perception and mindset has to change. The fact remains same. People would say, oh, if you don't get yourself educated, Challenge knows that you would be, in the Western Division will say, oh, you'll start harvesting sugarcane. Or the girls would be saying, oh, we'll marry you with a farmer. So what's wrong being there, guys? We have proven, we have good, like a lot of us, we have made our career in agriculture. There's a lot of veterans there. Mrs. Uraya is there. Mr. Uraya is there. Chone is there. They were successful civil servants. They led the nation in terms of policy directions, provided advice. A number of things that we're doing in Fiji are because of the outputs and outcomes of the people, and their impact is realized by us. So colleagues, one of the things is when some people look at agriculture, let's take it to the next level. Let's change that mindset. Number of us, Shalini would agree, Ura would agree, when they were in FCA, when we came in, we were not left out. Number of us were Dutch distinction holders. A number of us proven in the institution that we are part of medical students. And guys, one of the things you should also know, veterinarians. We got a scarce of veterinarians in Fiji. The reason is getting a veterinary degree, BBSc, is a difficult thing because in human being, the eye remains here, the ears are here, the teeth is here, the bone is same place. You study all along the same place. You get hold of that chicken there, get hold of that pig there, get hold of that cow there. They have got different systems altogether. Some eat grass, some eat everything and anything. So it's a matter of the fact that it's a difficult cause itself. Now, the problem we face here is one thing is the perception, mindset, we can change that, but how we look at agriculture. Okay, we grow that thing there, you are back there, you have some grog there tonight, tomorrow you wake up at 11, don't mind. But if you are in the business of probably a supermarket, even just a small sales boy or a person who would be filling up the lines for the groceries, you have to be there at 8 o'clock or have to be there at 7 o'clock. You treat it as a business. You treat it as the fact that you are deriving your income, and that is lacking. We lack, in agriculture you can push people, but if you don't have passion, if you don't have drive, it has to come from here. A lot of you will agree, farmers don't get sick leaves, farmers don't get leave. Now, these cows here, the day you are sick, you say, okay, I'm on sick leave, I don't go and I don't milk the cows, I don't go and look after them. No, you can't do that. So, farming has to be treated like a full-time job one, and farming has to be treated like a commercial entity. There is money to make. The problem is we fail because one of the things is, I'll get back to the sugar industry, but before that, one of the challenges in the farming industry is about your cash flows. People don't know because Today you'll receive $10 for your, for example, just an example, $1 per kg for your watermelon. Next time you'll receive $2. Everybody starts planting $2. Planting watermelon because it's $2, and suddenly there's a glut in the market. Then you have money today, $100. Then about 2 years down the, if you are in the livestock sector, today you're getting milk. Tomorrow that cow would be dry. Today you got a calf. If you won't get the money until 3 years, if the calf is lost in the way, that 3 years of sweat is gone. So the biggest challenge in agriculture is the cash flow, and that is the reason a number of people want to go into paid employment. We want to go into a sector where there is a consistent flow of income so that you can sustain your living. But colleagues, that is where we are coming, and a number of policies have been developed about diversification. Number of policies have been developed where we don't put all the eggs in one basket. If the milk is bringing up this much of money, $10 a day, there's other entity that would bring money from, you would bring money from Dalo, Kava, all those things. So you have to look at farming in a perspective of an enterprise where each income complements another income. But again, there are other entities where you could have a mono kind of farming, where like for dairy, you would have cash flows every day. So that's one. Number two fundamental thing that is we have a challenge in Fiji is replacement farmers. You look at anyone that is, you go to FNU, you ask, we have got practical students. Shalen all the time receives practical students. And they said, okay, what do you want to be? I want to become a teacher. I want to be in the chemistry lab. I want to be a BTech officer. I want to be a veterinarian. But nobody tells us, maybe out of 100 people, one person tells us that he or she wants to be a farmer. And they are living examples of a lot of people who have chosen farming as a career. So for us, the aging farmers is a concern. We don't have that many replacement farmers coming in. And we are proud to say, and I think I was with Nabuso the other day in their board meeting, and one of the mottos and one of the driving things for Nabuso, and which I salute, is Nabuso is not driving you people to have an employment in future, but you want you people to be future farmers yourself, creating employment, creating that entrepreneurial skills, and employing people. So you are the employment creators, the feeders of the nation. So that's the drive which URA has in terms of making sure that this institution has got a unique setup. Their motto is not about producing kids or producing students or maybe people for job market. It's more of producing people, producing farmers. So Navuso in itself, currently what I see is a unique setup where we bring in future farmers, we nurture them with new skills, we give them that platform. Today's platform is another way of parting knowledge, upskilling, sharing knowledge. Colleagues, one of the things I want to let you guys know, nobody here is an expert. Nobody, Salen is sitting there, Salen is head of research. No one is expert on it. You learn every day. Madam has been my boss for a while. She has a master's, she has acquired, but the learning never stops. Even today when she goes home, she will be learning. And that's what we say. Until you go to the grave, you continue learning. And you should, every way, in any way, cherish the next person sitting beside you. Colleagues, one of the things also is a lot of times we look at the weaknesses of others. Any person sitting there has got some kind of a strength. And we have to find that strength. Any leader, any successful person in his right mindset would look at the strengths of the person, making sure they work as a team, they complement the strengths, and they get that output and outcomes and impact on the society. I don't want to dwell too much on that essence. So the challenge for us is attracting farmers, and what we're doing, what Ministry of Agriculture is doing, what Mr. Ureya, Mr. Chone Savlawa has been doing. They have been laying the platforms where we are driving policies. You must have seen we are modernizing the face of agriculture so that we can attract our future generations, the youths, to take up our farming. We have introduced machines. Before you had about rice farming. You know, we are only producing 16% of what we eat in rice. The reason was, before we were in extended families, when you have to harvest rice, you would have the mother-in-law, son-in-law, sons, you'll see a lot of families had got 10 kids. The reason was it was called free labor, because they would go harvest the rice, do it. Now families are growing smaller. People are having family planning where they would have only 2 kids. So again, the challenge is us to make agriculture more smarter. So we are introducing rice harvesters now for addressing the issue of harvesting. You have seen in the sugar industry, there are mechanical harvesters being introduced. So we are trying our best to make sure agriculture is more attractive. We have got now softwares. We are not able, at present we are also able to predict certain things. For example, rainfall patterns. There are supercomputers that can assist us in rainfall patterns in terms of climate change. We have got Shalen's team, who is head of research. They're trying out new technologies, new ways of farming. They are also bringing in new varieties that are resistant to diseases, resistant to climate change in terms of water stress conditions or excess water. So these are innovations, these are the ways in which Ministry of Agriculture is investing, as well as setting policy guidelines, so that one, we can still attract youths like you in agriculture. We still want to increase self-sufficiency. Guys, you are aware that if you look at our dairy shed here, we've got cows there. The average milk production is not good, but we are producing. You know, at present we're doing 6 million liters. One time we were doing 12 million liters. This is, I think, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But now what is happening is we importing most of the milk now, 6 million liters. We need another 6 million or 8 million. We're importing most of it. There's a market gap. You look at our pig and poultry, nearly self-sufficient, and we are laughing away. We're saying, okay, we are self-sufficient. No. I think 60 to 80% of our feed is important. 60 to 80% of the feed that is these pigs and the poultry eat is important. So again, if you look at, you do your economics, again, 60% of what you eat or 80% of what you eat from the chicken, though it's grown locally, is again imported feed. So, now the other thing that today we cherish the contributions of TTM in terms of development of orchards. And colleagues, this is one of the revolution in Ministry of Agriculture we have also started is grow local, eat local and promote local. Why? The challenge for us is nobody wants apples and oranges. On the essence, it is always there, it's abundance. There's a consistent supply. But you don't see mangoes all the time. You don't see mandarin all the time, local fruits. The consistent supply is not there. The quality is not there. Our drive through these kind of programs is to promote local. We are trying to grow a lot of this produce locally. As soon as the tourism sector is open, a lot of us would be going back to the tourism sector. There would be a lot of imports again. But this time around, we want substitutes to come in place of apples, guava. If you look at the nutrient analysis of apple and guava, you'll see guava is kind of, we would say, wonder fruit. It has got everything in it. So, it is us to make the decision. We are now working with the tourism sector. We are working with a number of NGOs as well in terms of driving that mindset where people felt that if a tourist, a person from Australia, New Zealand, elsewhere, comes in the morning when he wakes up, when he sees his sandwich, he would want to make sure that the tomato fits on that tomato should be 5 centimeters or 10 centimeters. No. If it is even smaller, still it's locally grown and he would want to eat it. It is just the mindset that we are believing that they would not want to eat it. So, the drive is in us to make sure that food or that fruit enters the tourism sector. So, we are working with the purchasing officers. We are working with the local chefs in making sure they incorporate local producers into the local producers, as well as they promote local food as well and fruits as well in the tourism sector. Now back to this field day. Field days, a lot of times when we come to field days, a lot of times we feel this is another day where we would have a speech, we'd go and look at the technology, we'll talk it through, we'll have a nice lunch and we go away. And guys, at the very end of the day, at times we come, we broaden our knowledge, we see new things. But this kind of field days is where we try to showcase proven technologies, where we want you to take this thing and then share it. Every person, for example, for just an example, Shalan is sitting here, he is a participant in his workshop. Maybe his wife or his friends were not able to come to this workshop. So you are the ambassador for that technology. Something is showcased there, you take it back, discuss it. The next time you have Talana session, next time my boss Chona Savalawa has that rock session, he says, hey, Nabuso, we went there. There's a new kind of thing coming up. This is the thing we should be talking about in parting. So field days are also a way of showcasing as well as parting that knowledge. We have other ways of showcasing. We are running farmer field schools as well. We're bringing farmers, veteran farmers show technologies, proven technologies, how things work, things don't work. We also, in number of workshops and field days like this, we meet experts. At times we may not be able to see our good friend from TTM or Mr. Philip from TTM who got expertise in orchards. You would not have a chance to meet them. So these field days give you that leverage in terms of networking as well as getting access to those experts. So without further ado, I know it was a long speech. Again, once again, students, we appreciate the fact that you have taken your time out. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be with people who believe in agriculture. Please believe in agriculture. Change that mindset when you go back to the people, when people talk about agriculture, hey guys, oh agriculture, no guys, it should be, yes, I'm in agriculture. That should be the thing. Should be proud to be part of it. So, when people, when you go back to the village, they say, I'm from Nabuso. I am feeding you guys. I got a drive to feed you, because no matter what these doctors, these lawyers talk about, very end of the day, when they start the day, they start with food. And when they go back, even my Talatala here, he eats before he comes to preach. Apart from when you have the, fasting and other things, but definitely when you come up to the thing, the energy that is driven by you guys, the farmers. So once again, guys, I declare this workshop open and thank you so much.
This is the structure for the house, for the plastic house as a whole. And the plastic house has iron or galvanized. And the size of plastic house is 5 by 45 meter. And the cost of this structure is 6,700. I'll be explaining on cucumbers. As you can see, we have 3 different varieties we are planting, by the way. We have the Mary Swallow, the first 2 rows, Nymph, first second rows, and the second plastic house, we have the Mary Queen. Size of our plastic house is 5 meters by 45 meters long. As you can see, we have 4 rows. So, spacing of our planting cucumbers is 1 meter between rows and 50 centimeters within rows. So 4 rows, 76, 304 cucumbers all planted inside here, 304 cucumbers here, 304 cucumbers in the other plastic house. We will normally do our germinations from our seed trays in the big plastic house before transplanting into our plastic house. The reasons why we do planting is easy for us for harvesting cucumbers, good production, and easy airflow of cucumbers. As you can see, there are orange clips on the cucumbers. It's just to help the cucumbers grow in a vertical line. Easy for us to detect pests and doing our pest control, and easy for us to harvest. Only pest now we've been dealing with now is downly mildew. As you can see, it's one of diseases spread normally through with cucumbers plants. This is normal. This usually happens on planting on field or planting inside nurseries. Guys, dikumpul na.
front of you is our tomato field. The variety of this tomato is Rising Sun number 2. First we'll talk about the plastic mulch. Plastic mulch is in drip irrigation inside, drip irrigation line. And we have two sides of two colors in this plastic mulch. The inside part is black and the outside is silver. The silver part reflects sunlight, which scares the pest below the leaves. The black part absorbs heat so that the grass don't grow. The advantage of planting with plastic mulch, there will be no weed control. And in open field, you can see there's a lot of weed control happening here. Just we did on Tuesday. Now the grass is up again. The size of this plot, 11 meters by 59. And the spacing of these tomatoes is 75 between rows and 75 within rows, 75 centimeters.